Welcome back. So now we're going to do factor by grouping. Factor by grouping, look at what I got going on here. I got 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to see if there's anything common in all 4. And there isn't. They don't have anything common in all 4. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to say 2 of you guys go together, and the other 2 of you go together, and then I'm going to common factor if I can between you. Let's do that again. 2 of you guys go together, the other 2 go together, and then I'm going to common factor between those 2. So 7ab plus 14bc, you stand over here. And I'm going to put brackets around them indicating that they're a separate group. And the 3ad and the 6cd, you stand over there. And because this is one group and this is one group, and if I add the 2 groups, it means what I had before, I'll put that addition. This addition sign is not that addition. This addition is the fact that this is positive. This addition just means that these 2 plus these 2 gave me the original group. So now what I do is I take a look if I can common factor between these 2 groups. I can take out a 7 and a b, leaving me with a plus 2c. I can take out a 3 and a d, leaving me with a plus 2c. Totally cool! Do you see what I see? Binomial, binomial, they're the same. A plus 2c, 7b plus 3d. Life is grand. This is called fully factored. We got it down to a binomial times a binomial, which is totally cool. Now, let's do the next one. 6ab minus 9a squared plus 2bc minus 3ac. Okay, so I'm going to say, hey, you 2, go stand over in the corner. Hey, you 2, go stand over in the other corner. And the 2 of you together is the original group. That plus is not that plus. That plus made this a positive 2bc. All right, now is there anything that can common factor out of here? Well, I can take out a 3a, which is going to be 2b minus 3a. Anything common factor over here? I can take out a c, which is going to be 2b minus 3a. Do you see what I see? This and this are common multiples, leaving us with 2b minus 3a, 3a plus c. And that is fully factored. Now that is totally cool. Now, someone might be saying, hold on a minute. Do I have to group them the way you're grouping? So instead of putting the 9ab and the 9a squared together, what if I want to do 6ab plus 2bc together, and then I want negative 9a squared and negative 3ac together? What if? Well, let's find out. Let's common factor what's here. So a 2b will give me my 3a plus c. Now this one, I have a negative and a negative. And I'm hoping to get a binomial that looks like this. So I'm going to common factor out a negative 3. So it's going to be negative 3a. And that's going to leave me with 3a plus c. Now if you don't factor it that way, you're going to get this. You're going to factor out a 3a. You're going to be left with negative 3a minus c, which doesn't match up. So you're going to have to common factor out a negative out of here to change those signs anyway. So I'm going to do it in one step. Now a positive and a negative, they go together to give a negative. So it's going to be 2b, 3a plus c, minus 3a, sorry, 3a plus c. Do you see what I see? This guy and this guy are the same now, which is going to be 3a plus c, 2b minus 3a. And the question is that the same as what we had before? And the answer comes back 2a minus 3a, 2b minus 3a, 2b minus 3a times 3a plus c times 3a plus c. They are identical. So yes, you can group them that way, no problem. So then someone in the class is going to say, whoa, 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 I don't like either of your ways of grouping. I want to group them by saying, okay, 6AB, I want you to stand over in the corner with negative 3AC. And I want negative 9A squared to stand in the corner with 2BC. Do you see how that negative went with that negative? This positive just means that these two groups go together to give me my original group. Okay, let's common factor. I'm going to take out a 3A, which is going to be 2B minus C. And I'm going to common factor out nothing. 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 Does that, I don't think that's even a word. So, no, this is not going to common factor. So even though this is not wrong, it doesn't get you to a fully factored answer. So we don't want to do this. This is a bad way to group. So even though you're allowed to group any way you want, there's better ways to group and worse ways to group. So you want to make sure that when you're grouping, your terms have something that can common factor out. Okay, and these don't, so that's a bad group. Okay, moving on to C. So I'm going to group them in what I think is a good way to group. I'm going to put the 4x squared and the negative 3x together. I'm going to put the negative 8x and the positive 6 together. Notice that's a negative 8x, and that plus just means that those two groups go to give me the whole. I'm going to common factor out an x, which is going to give me a 4x minus 3. And I want a 4x minus 3 over here. So how am I going to get it? I'm going to common factor out a negative 2. So common factoring out a negative 2 is going to give me a 4x minus 3. This positive and this negative, we know what happens with that. That's going to become a negative. And do you see what I see? Christmas songs in September, you gotta love it. Okay, so now we got 4x minus 3 and x minus 2, and life is grand, fully factored. Two more. So again, putting them together so that they have something in common is always a good idea. Look at these guys and say, hey, you guys! Take these two and put them over together. Take these two and put them over together. Common factor out what you can. I'm thinking a 2 and an x, which is going to give me a 9y minus 5. And notice this is negative 9y squared plus 5y, so I'm going to common factor out a y, but I also want to common factor out that negative. I'm going to do it in one step this time. I'm going to common factor out a negative y, which is going to leave me with a positive y, oops, not plus 5, minus 5. Do you see what? I know, you know the song. Okay, so it's 9y minus 5, and it's 2x minus y. Woohoo! And the last one. If I group the 6x and the yz, they got nothing in common, kids. How much do they have in common? Nothing in common. What do they got in common? Nothing in common. So that's not good. Don't group those two together. Pick two that have something in common. How about 6x and 2xz? So let's group. Hey, you guys. Hey, you remember where that's from? That's from the electric company. Okay, so those two plus. And then this is going to be yz plus 3y. And yes, my z's look like 3, but they're not, so deal with it. So what are we going to do next? We're going to common factor out a 2x. It's going to leave me with a 3 plus z. And this one I'm going to common factor out a y. And it's going to leave me a z plus 3. Oh no, we got to think for a minute. Do you think that 3 plus z is the same as z plus 3? Think for a minute. Think hard. The answer is yes, they are the same. So we're going to common factor them out. 3 plus z and 2x plus y. And we are done. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you your extra practice. See you in a bit.